Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back. My name is Nakia if you're new here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the full process from start to finish on how I installed these seamless keratin K-tip extensions from Curlsqueen. As you can see, this hair looks like it is coming straight out of my scalp. The extensions are so lightweight and undetectable. You can treat these extensions just as you would your natural hair. And I'm talking ponytail, bun, half up, half down, middle part, side part. I'm going to be showing you all of the things that are doable with this hair. There's a lot to unpack, so let's jump right into it. So I do have to let you know that this video is in collaboration with my girls over at Curlsqueen. Thank y'all so much for sponsoring today's video. We love that. They sent me 200 grams of their 20-inch Light Yaki K-tip human hair extensions. And of course, I had to look out for y'all. So if you decide to order this hair and try this tutorial at home like I did, you can save money by using the discount code NASE. And don't forget to add the hot tool that's needed to your order if you don't have one at home. So as you can see, we are starting from scratch, freshly washed and blow dried hair. And of course, we're going to go ahead and straighten it. Now I'm going to speed through this because I'm sure we all know how to straighten our hair by now. But you know, everybody does it a little differently. I typically like to put all of my hair up into a high pony and just part out sections and straighten as I go. Small sections are key. Don't forget to put in leave-in conditioner and heat protectant because your flat iron should go up to at least 400 degrees for silk press. So no more than 2 passes to a piece. And this is what my hair looks like once it's completely straightened. Homegrown after a big chop about 3 years ago. Thank you. But enough about me, let's get into this unboxing. And baby, let me just say, whoever is over the packaging at Curlsqueen, they need a raise because it is so cute. Well, let's see what we have. So inside I have this pink pouch that has a little wig brush in it, a reversible bonnet with a drawstring, love that. It did come with some hair clips, I think about 3 or 4 of those, some Velcro straps for the flyaways. And then we have a comb, always so convenient, you can never have too many. And then some extra keratin tip extensions and an instruction manual. Okay, so they did include the tool, thank God, because I did not have one at home. But here is the star player of the show, the 200 grams of Light Yaki hair. It was secured with a rubber band and a hairnet over it, so it took me a little minute to get that hairnet off. We're gonna have a little tussle, but we made it. Okay, so I was so pleased and impressed when I didn't see any of those forced crimps that are normally in most Yaki hair. I love that this hair just has like a natural Yaki textured feel to it. It's not too silky, but could still give silk press. It did come in a dark brown color, which pretty much all human hair does. But since I'm a jet black girly, of course I had to go ahead and dye the hair jet black. I did not wet or dye above the gold tie that comes on the hair because I just didn't know how the K-tips will respond to that. So just keep in mind, I did not wet the top of the hair if you decide to dye it. I did not put dye on that or anything. So when I take the gold strap off, it does still have like a little bit of dark brown, but that's okay because you couldn't see it once I installed it. But we're gonna go ahead and blow dry this hair. And you guys, actually once I blow dried the hair, I decided not to straighten it because the blow dry texture looks even more natural. If you could see, this is no straightening, straight blow dried. So bomb. On to installation. First, I section off the top section of my hair because I wanted to focus primarily on the back half. I know some like to split it in 4, but I think it's just a little easier to do it this way for the back section. So then, of course, we're going to section off the perimeter of our hair, the parts that we don't want any K-tips on. That's going to be like our cover up for our ponytails and buns and updos. So I just went ahead and put those in a rubber band so they didn't get mixed in with the K-tips. And then we're going to part a thin layer of hair to apply the extensions. Now, of course, I'm doing this alone, so parts will not be perfect, and I'm okay with that. but it did get better as I went. So I still just wanted to show y'all the process and the progress. And trust me, our next row is going to look a lot better, but bear with me. We're going to get through it. So to apply the extension, I just parted a thin layer of the hair and I pinched about as much of hair that is equivalent to the size of the hair that's on the K-tip, if that makes sense. And you just lay that K-tip extension on top, and then you'll grab the hot tool and you'll just kind of tap onto the keratin until it melts into the hair. It'll kind of like merge into the hair, and then you just kind of roll it to seal your hair in with the keratin. Okay, the hot tool that bonds the K-tips, it does get very, very hot, so you don't need to sit it on your hair for too long. I just tap it a few times, but some people I see, they'll sit it on there for 1 to 2 seconds. I was a little nervous about like heat damage, so I just wanted to tap it a little bit. And I'll show you another technique that I learned as I continued to apply the extensions. Okay, so there is our first row. Again, like I said, it's not perfect, but as you'll see if you keep watching, it will get a lot better. That is what the tips look like. So we're going to go ahead and secure that away so our next row won't get caught in the extensions. So because of how long the keratin bonds looked on row 1, I decided to cut the ones here on row 2 just so that they will be a little bit shorter, a little less noticeable. Although this is the back of my head, I guess it doesn't really matter, but that was just a little tip that I found as I continued to go, is to cut the top of the keratin bond just a little bit halfway, just so that it'll be a little bit less noticeable once you have them all installed. So as you can see, you guys, my second one with the bond cut just a little bit, it looks a lot better. And we were moving and grooving. I think I got a little bit faster as I continued to do it. I was just like pinching the hair, laying it on top, you know, heating it with the tool, rolling it, and moving on. Okay. Now the installation process, it is pretty continuous. You just pretty much continue to do the same thing across each row until you get to the top. So I'll let you guys watch a little bit. I am going to skip through to the middle, just so I can show you a little bit of the technique that I did with parting, just to make sure you use all of your extensions thoroughly and make sure you have enough fullness in all areas. But that is my second row so far, you guys. I was starting to feel a lot more confident with installing the K-tips, and you know, it did get easier as you go. So I just want to let you know, if it looks a little bit intimidating in the beginning, it was for me too, but once you get started, if you put your mind to it, you can go ahead and get it done. And I'm telling you, the results were so worth it, so I highly recommend. And y'all, please excuse the lighting changes throughout the video. The camera had a hard time of figuring out what to focus on. I was doing a lot of moving around, a lot of standing and sitting. And so, you know, I didn't realize that it was going in and out until I started to edit the video, but it still turned out pretty good. So I hope that you guys can see the process pretty clearly. Alright, so once I got halfway through my head, the next layer that I part on top of here is just to cover up the last layer that I did. I'm separating this because I got done with like the first bundle and I kind of got a little nervous. I didn't want to run out of hair, so I stopped. I parted a thin layer of hair to cover the last row that I did, and then I started on the top. So I just split the top in half so I can make sure I at least have the same amount on one side and the same on the other. So to be a little more specific with how I used the bundles, the 200 grams, I think I used one whole bundle on the back half, and then I used half and half on each side of my head, if that makes sense. But same thing here in the front. We're going to go ahead and secure away our perimeter for the front, for our ponies and everything, and we're going to do the same exact process, just, you know, on the sides. And I decided to cut the K-tip bonds even smaller because I wanted them to be very undetectable, especially in the front and top of my head. So this is how it normally looks on the left side. That's how the K-tip comes. It's pretty long and thick, and I cut a bunch of them. Now just keep in mind, the bonds on the K-tips, they are pretty thick, and regular scissors are not going to do it. You're going to need like some cuticle nail pliers to clip them. Well, at least that's what I used to cut them. So yeah, but we are just installing the small little bonds onto the hair. And of course, because you make them smaller, it is going to take a little longer than the back took. But I was okay with that. I just wanted them to look very seamless. So the smaller they are, the better you'll be able to blend the hair and the extensions. So I did a few rows on one side, and then I stopped, and then I did the same amount on the other side just so that it would be even. I wanted to have the same amount of fullness on both sides. I think that's very important when you're installing K-tip extensions. Whether you get 200 or 300 grams, you just want to make sure that you apply it evenly throughout the hair. I think that is what's going to make it look more natural. So this is about as high as I went with the extensions on the sides, and I left the middle part that I'm holding out. But if you guys remember, I did stop midway in the back. So once I got the top up to where I wanted it, I clipped away all of the hair, and I went ahead and added some more extensions in the back. So I did install the full 200 grams of K-tip extensions into my hair. I put all of the rest of the extensions in the back of my hair and went up as high as I can until I ran out. And this is where I stopped in the back and on the sides completely, so you guys can see exactly how much hair I left out in the middle for my middle and side parts. Okay y'all, so this is how my hair turned out after installing all of the K-tip extensions. It is very, very natural, very versatile. I mean, you really cannot detect the K-tips. I think I did a really good job of leaving the correct amount of hair out. They are very, very tiny. This is what they look like, but you'd have to be up so close to see them because it blends so well into my hair. And my hair is actually a little broken off right here and short, and it still covers. Like this is like the front of my hair for me, just like flat ironing it out. It's very lightweight. I will say that you can, if you feel your head, you can feel them, but they're very like small. They're not as thick as like a track would be, or like micro links. They're not as hard. They're really tiny. Me personally, I like a blunt cut. You guys seen how my natural hair was cut. Very, very blunt cut right here. So I'm gonna end up cutting these ends, and then I'm gonna curl it. I just wanna show you guys how it looks with a side part, a middle part, and everything before I do any cutting or manipulating to it. It took me a while to install this on my own. I literally went into the next day trying to install it, but that is because I started late in the day when I did it. And so I wrapped my hair last night, so that's why it's kind of leaning to one side. But so this is how it looks in the middle part. Okay, this is the side part. Of course, you can just do like a little flip over if you want, or you can actually part it and have it a little more if you want it a little more neat, you can actually part it. And you see, very, very natural. very, very natural. Blends with my hair so well. You know, I mean, you can really just treat this like your real hair. So here's me just playing around with it or whatever. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and curl this hair, pin curl it. I'm gonna end up cutting it just blunt. I'm gonna do like maybe right up under my chest here. So I'm gonna cut off maybe about, I don't know, 2 inches, I guess. All right, so that is a little better for me. I like a more thick, I think the hair just looks a little more full and a little more thick when you cut it, so that's a lot better. Okay, so before I curl the hair, I do want to show y'all how it looks in a ponytail. So cute. So cute. So tea. So natural. Y'all can't tell me this is not my real hair, because I won't even believe you, even though I installed it. Okay. I'm trying to get a big enough ponytail holder because look how natural and beautiful the pony is. I normally don't like to put a lot of edge control into my hair when it's straightened, but of course, you know, you can smooth it and make it look as natural as possible. But I think this is super cute, super natural looking. Can't beat it. I also wanted to show y'all how the hair looked when it was curled, because I was curious myself. So I'm going to go ahead and curl the hair, pin curl it, and we'll see how it turns out. And this is how my hair turned out after curling and pin curling it. The curls were very, very bouncy. The hair seems to hold a curl very, very well. I am very, very pleased with the extensions altogether. If there were any questions that you had that I didn't answer in the video, make sure you leave a comment down below. I am going to try to do an update on this hair, maybe wash, blow dry it, and see how that turns out. So make sure you subscribe if you're interested in seeing that, and leave me a comment down below to let me know, so I'll make sure to record it. But that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.